while again, I know. So the latest news in my life is I was carrying my laundry basket, which was full. I was heading downstairs to do some laundry and I fell. When I fell, I landed on the laundry basket and, like, I hit the side of, like, right here. And I would swear to you that I cracked a rib or something, or at least severely bruised them because this side of me has been in so much pain since it happened, like, it's ridiculous. And I also really screwed up my left foot because what happened was, like, I stepped wrong. Like, I stepped on, it was like I twisted my ankle, like, my foot went sideways, like, all my weight went on it, and I lost my balance. The laundry basket fell, and I fell on it. Which, you would think, like, a laundry basket's not something that's, like, real sharp or real hard, but I guess I just hit it the right way where I, like, really thought that I broke a rib. And also, like, the guy that I'm seeing has been, like, he was so sick in the last week, like, that we didn't even, like, I was gonna do Thanksgiving and the whole bit, and, like, he couldn't even make it. He couldn't even get out of bed. He was hallucinating. He was so sick. So, being that he's, like, the only person, like, around here that, like, is available to, like, help me with stuff because my parents are in Florida, for, this half of the year, I'm not able to get anywhere without him, like, and I wasn't about to call an ambulance. That's ridiculous, because they charge you so much fucking money for that shit. So anyway, I've really just been, like, resting. I mean, I did end up cooking on Thanksgiving for just myself and my cat. And we had some turkey, right, baby? We had some turkey. Yeah, it was fun, right? 'Cause turkey's one of the only things that, like, one of the only people foods that she likes. She's a weirdo. She doesn't eat any, like, people food. Like, I try to, like, share things with her, and she's like, "You giving me human?" Yeah, you funny. You don't eat any people food. Only cat food. You a weirdo. Come here. So yeah, but, I've just been hanging out with her and just basically trying to stay off this foot to get it, like, healed up. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, and my boyfriend's feeling better, so, I'll be able to see him, and hopefully things will be good. But yeah, so, anyway, yeah, but what are you doing? Why are you biting me? She wants me to pay attention to her, and, like, I'm not, so she's like, um, so anyway, last night I was watching YouTube, as I do. I like to watch the true crime stuff on there because a lot of the cases are things that I've never heard of. Like, and this one really fucking blew me away. I really enjoy, I don't know if you guys have ever seen the YouTube channel Explore With Us. They're amazing. Like, they do some really good, like, true crime stories. And this one, wow! Like, I've been seeing it come up in my recommended for a while, like a few days or whatever, and I was like, that looks interesting, I'll get to it. It was like 40 minutes long, and I was like, yeah, I'll watch that eventually. So finally last night I clicked on it, and holy crap. This guy, this happened in 2012, and there's this man named Peter Keller. He was a father, a married guy with one daughter. I guess his wife, what was her name? I can't think of her name. Something with an L. Lynette, I think. I'm looking for the name here. I have the article up so I could go over, like, the dates and everything. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys the story just because it was, like, I don't know how I could possibly forget any of it. It was fucking crazy. Yeah, her name was Lynette, and their daughter's name was Kayleen. Like Kaylee, but with an N. Kayleen. Which, at first I thought that's weird, but it kind of grew on me. Like, it's kind of cute. So anyway, Kayleen had graduated high school and was planning to start college. Like, she was going to go to Bellevue. Like, this happened in Washington State. So this guy, this Peter Keller, he was 41 years old, and he had been, like, I guess in some sort of, like, depression or whatever. And his wife, Lynette, she had, like, screwed up her back to the point where she couldn't work anymore. So, like, I guess this Peter dude was feeling, like, extra pressure because he's now the only one in the family that's making money. And they were living in a trailer home. So it was like, the couple and their kid, and they had a dog, cute little dog. the dog, like, you could tell that he was like an older dog because he was getting like the gray around his little face and everything. Really cute little guy. So, oh, did you guys notice I got my Eiffel Tower lights working? Like, they are battery operated, and for the longest time I just didn't have batteries. And finally I managed to find some. I also fixed my twinkly lights. They now go from there all the way up around the room. So that's pretty cool. I really like the way they came out. And yeah, now that it's winter time and it's just me and Willow here, we kind of spread out. So I have, like, I moved all my stuff into the bathroom for, like, doing my hair and makeup, so it's not so cluttered in here, and we have a little bit more room to move around. And also for, like, and when my boyfriend's here, we can, like, have, more room to chill. Because, like, before, it was just everything in my little room here. Like, that's kind of how it is when my parents are home. I just want to stay out of their way. So I kind of just hang up here by myself. So anyway, this Peter Keller guy, right, he starts making these videos and, like, describing his plans for going off the grid, and, like, he's building himself like a bunker in the woods, like, and he's going, like, all out. Like, he's spent, like, years going up there, like, 1 day a week when he wasn't working, and spending, like, 9 hours, because he says it, he's like, my days are like 9 hours when I do this, like, and he's hauling all this shit up from his house to the woods, like the middle of fucking, like the side of a mountain, like near a little creek. And so he's brought, like, all this shit up there, like a generator and, like, food, and, like, he even had, like, vodka, and he made, like a heater out of a garbage can, like one of those, like, wood burning, like, heater dealies. And he had, like, a chimney going up, and he had, like, an air mattress, and, like, he like was, like, really planning to, like, live in this bunker. Okay, so, but, like, he's not really explaining, like, why. Like, he's just making these videos as he's building his bunker, and he's like almost like vlogging. Well, yeah, it was vlogging. He was, like, explaining, like, how he was constructing this, like, bunker, and it was like, it was looking pretty, like, I don't know, like, as far as holes in the ground go, it's looking pretty good. And, like, he had, like, everything, and plus there was, like, a stream right outside, like a freshwater creek, so he could get, like, water and everything, and, like, yeah, it was just really wild. And so he's discussing, like, in his vlogs, as he's talking about the construction of this bunker, he's saying how, like, he always wanted to do this when he was, like, a teenager. He always wanted to, like, and I think a lot of kids, like, wanted, like, a clubhouse or, like, a fort, like, I mean, I always wished I had, like, a tree house. Like, my little cousin Jennifer, she had, like, a tree house in the backyard of the house that her parents bought, and it was so cool. Like, when you're a little kid, like, you want your own little house, you know what I mean? It's like this thing. And I mean, I always wanted one, and I was super jealous that Jennifer's house just came with one, but we had a blast playing in it, like, it was always so much fun. So, I mean, I understand, like, that when you're a kid, but this is a 41-year-old man, and he's spending, like, serious time on this. Now, meanwhile, the wife, Lynette, she's, like I said, she's messed up her back to the point that she can't work anymore, so she's, I think on disability. Like, I'm not 100% sure on the income part of it, like, because she is basically saying that, like, her husband's giving her money for this and this and this, because she had, like, started, like, a small, like, crafting, like, YouTube channel. So she was doing paper flowers, I think is what they said, and, like, a scrapbooking kind of deal. And she had, like, a whole area in her house, and the husband had bought her, like, a special recliner, I think, with, like those ergonomic ones that have, like, built-in, I don't know, massagers. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she's talking about how, like, she knew him in high school, and they weren't together in high school, but then they bumped into each other later in life, and then they got back together, and, like, her sister really liked him, and she was trying to, talk her into having a relationship with the guy, where at first they were just friends, and I guess it grew into more, and, like, that is something that's a little bit common. I mean, I know for sure there's another couple from my hometown who that happened with. They dated in high school and then they were apart for years and years, and they each had their own like families and kids and divorces and ran into each other, and now they're married and they had two more kids, and it's really a sweet story. And then there's me and my guy who I we didn't date in high school. In fact, I dated his best friend, but like we were really good friends in high school, and we did like hook up a few times, but I never, we never slept together or anything like that. It was just like friendship. And then we didn't see each other for 25 years. And when we eventually, because I moved all over. I lived in Philadelphia, I lived in Florida, Orlando. I came back, I went to Reading, Pennsylvania for like 9 years. And then I finally came back to my hometown, and he was still here and still, gorgeous and single. And I swear, like, he got super hot. He was always good looking. I mean, even like in the yearbook, he was like best smile and, like one of the friendliest and just a really sweet guy, like back then. And then we got out of high school and he just, wow. I think I've told this story before, so not to get too much blah 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 into it, but like, yeah, he's getting like better with age, and it's so frustrating because I feel like I'm going in the opposite direction. But yeah, we spent like 2 years together, and then some shit happened and we split up, and then like now we're talking again. Like we never stopped talking, but we did stop like being official. And I don't know where we're going now, but he's still like the only one. Like I can't see myself with anybody else. It's just I'm like stuck. So I don't know where it's gonna go, but I hope it goes where I want it to go. So anyway, I understand what their situation was. Like when you feel like the best way I can describe it is like how I describe my guy. Like I feel like I'm home when I'm with him. I feel so comfortable. It's like all those memories of being 15 and hanging out, and all these years later it's just so comfortable. You just feel so, yeah, like just you feel like you're home again, and it's just the best feeling. So this is, I guess, kind of probably how Lynette felt. And she said they were just starting to date, and like after 3 months he was proposing, and she said yes, and they had a baby and everything was good and they had a good life. And then she messed up her back and she couldn't work anymore. And he was like he repaired computers, and their daughter, like I said, had just graduated high school, and she did a lot of vlogging herself. Like, so there's a lot of video of this family, like between the dad doing his bunker vlogs and the daughter doing her like little video thing, and the wife had like a little crafting YouTube channel. Excuse me one second. Willow has knocked over some of my stuff, and it's just driving me nuts because it looks like it's about to hit the floor, so I'm just fixing it. Okay, so so the situation is, let me just read you this article. This is from Seattle PI from July 12th of 2012. Also, real quick, I want to just say I'm sorry that I say the word like a lot, apparently. I've had 2 people complain on my YouTube channel, I can't listen to you say like too much. Sorry. Okay? Sorry. But like these are 2 people that literally said they can't watch my videos because I say like too much. So I'm trying not to do that, but it's very hard. It's in my speech pattern, and I'm sorry. That's how I talk. Sorry. So this is, like I said, it's by Seattle PI. I don't want to not credit where this video is, or where this story comes from. So when deputies searched the Rattlesnake Ridge bunker built by Peter Keller, the survivalist. Yeah. I'm going to give away the whole story with this first sentence. This is not how I wanted to do this. So there was Yeah, I'm going to tell you the story and then I'll read you the facts, because there, all the time that he's building this bunker, he's bringing the dog up there with him. He's having like a whole day, making a whole day of it. And like I'll show you pictures and stuff. And I'm going to also do some clips of his vlogs so I can show you some of his videos where he's talking to the camera. He's talking about how he's 41, he's ugly, he's a loser, he's never had any like real friends. And he's starting to sound like an incel in a way. I mean, he's married and he has a kid, but he's talking like he doesn't. Like, he's talking like nobody likes him. And like, yeah, well, everybody hates me, kind of wah. So, what did you do? Willow she went running like she did something bad. What'd you do? Huh? Oh, I see, you knocked my books over. She's a punk right now. Alright, so... Leave my shit alone. You're knocking everything over because you're being a punk, and I don't even know why. So yeah, Peter's talking to the camera about, kind of woe is me stuff, where, I'm so ugly and nobody likes me and I didn't have any friends and blah, 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 blah. And I've always wanted to do this. And he's like, I gotta admit, this gives me like a little bit of, I really don't feel happy about the fact that I have to do this, but I think I can do this. Like, and it's just like really cryptic and weird. And I knew it was going somewhere really bad because he just does not sound like he's all there. Like, I mean, he sounds like he's, of sound mind. Like, he's not crazy, but his ideas are fucking messed up. Like, he sounds, like it can't be going anywhere good. Like, why do you want to move into a bunker in the woods? Like, well, are you going to just take your whole family, move off the grid? See, that's not where he was going with this, and I'm sure you can imagine where he was going with this. So, I don't know what date it was. Sorry, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can find the date. Yeah, he was saying things like, I'm getting to the point where I just try to live and pay bills and live as a civilian, go to work. It just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, taking what I want for as long as I can. At least it will be exciting. Like, what? And he even said, like, he used to think that he, himself and his actions were crazy. And he'd be like, well, and then I'd think about it and it would make sense. And he's like, okay, this is what I have to do. So he started to sketch his little bunker on paper beginning in 2003. And he didn't actually do this until 2012. Why does it say Thursday? It says the date, but it says the year, but it doesn't say the date. 22nd. April 22nd. There's a 911 call from a neighbor in the trailer park saying that there is a fire, basically. The Keller trailer was on fire. And the fire department gets there and they get like on the roof and they break in and like they were like so close to getting themselves blown up because Peter had rigged gas cans all throughout the house and like set the stove to, explode. And the fire department managed to get there and get it under control, and like so that it hadn't, like, the fire really hadn't spread through the whole trailer yet. So when they get inside, they find, like, in the bedroom, on the beds, Lynette and Kayleen and the dog all shot dead. Like, he shot his whole family, including the dog. Bringing the dog up to the bunker every day and acting like he loved... Oh, he was afraid the dog would bark and give him away in his fucking bunker. Like, he was planning this the whole time. His master plan was, I'm gonna kill my family and then go live in the bunker and, rob banks and pharmacies and, stay out there as long as I can. But he says multiple times in his vlogs that, like, he's prepared that, he might just have to die. Like, oh, maybe I'll get away with it for, a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks or, maybe it'll only be a day and they'll catch me and, blah, 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 blah. fucking piece of shit. You know, like, why are people like that? Why can't they just, like, you don't want to be married, get a divorce? Well, I don't understand how people can do this shit. Like, how do you look at your child who just graduated high school, had her whole life ahead of her, and put a bullet in her head because you want excitement? Why, like, what? You fucking piece of garbage. Piece of human garbage. It is so sad and so messed up. And I was so mad watching this video last night. Like, because, you know, Iwu, Explore With Us, they do a great job in their videos. They do a lot of, like showing, like, they were showing Peter's videos, his vlogs, and letting him basically tell the story. You know, so I can't really do that because I don't have the computer for it, but, like, I'm going to show you guys, like, when I do my editing on this, I'm going to do some video clips. Like, I can't show you the whole long vlogs, but, like, I'll show you pieces of it, and, like, I'll try to break this up to put, in fact, yeah, let me place a couple of them right here. Yeah, that's what I have to, like, pause and come back, but I will, it'll be cohesive at the end, trust me.
I mean, he spoils me. He takes care of me.
I'm getting pretty close to that time. This is what I gotta do. I don't even question it anymore. At this point, I don't know what's gonna happen. I may get caught right away. I mean, I could basically be dead in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. I don't know. It's all up to chance at this point.
Hey guys. Nice, look at all that smoke. Oh my gosh.
Though his family didn't yet know it, something
Nobody cared.
Peter's comment that he wants to survive for 10 years out in the woods complicates of bringing them along on his adventure.
Go ahead, open this. Oh my goodness. You are so sweet, you guys. Sorry I'm whispering. My husband's sleeping and our little doggy's sleeping with him. Last time I was doing a video, I was talking too loud and he woke up and came out here.
Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm gonna do, but as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it. Other times I feel like I'm more than ready. I've tried to make it in this world and it just isn't happening. I'm 40 now and I am running out of time. I don't even question it anymore. It just seems like everything makes so much sense now. You know, just the more I've thought about it, the more I understand it. I don't really feel bad about it. It's just the way it is. You know, certain things happen that cause this to happen. So, just kind of accepted it and just rolling with it. Well, this is it. Home sweet home. Got the lantern going so you can see a little bit, not a lot. You know, I often wonder if what I'm doing is the right thing, and I think it is.
These statements, though shocking, actually align with the earlier theory that Peter was suffering from a serious depressive disorder.
You know, as I do this for hour on hour, it's like I just sit there and think about stuff. Think about, like, how did I get so f***ed up? How did so many things go wrong? I don't think it's all my fault. I think it's more my upbringing, family life. I was just too ugly. Nobody cared.
Peter's recollection of feeling off also supports the depression theory, as it's common for symptoms to emerge during adolescence. Additionally, it's known that individuals with unresolved trauma can become stuck developmentally. This could very possibly be what happened to Peter, as he previously mentioned that he'd wanted to build a camp like this since he was a teen. If he became emotionally stuck at that point in his life, it could explain his apparent resentment for his family, along with the continued desire to depart from society.
Okay, so yeah, I'm back. Crazy shit, right? So here's the actual article. Now I'm going to read it to you now that I told you what happened so I don't, spoil it right in the beginning. So yeah, when deputies searched the Rattlesnake Ridge bunker, built by Peter Keller, the survivalist who killed his wife and 18-year-old daughter, they found a videotape the North Bend man made describing his plan for the end. His ramblings tried to justify his actions, talking in a chilling, matter-of-fact way how he would commit his crimes. Keller kept the tape among a stockpile of ammunition and weapons, improvised explosive devices, and his bulletproof vest. It's just going to be a point of, go as far as I can, Keller said, holding the digital recorder pointed toward his face. I do have my escape, and that's death. Can always shoot myself, and I'm okay with that. The whole thing is, why? Just because, they weren't broke. Yeah, they didn't live in a fucking mansion. They weren't making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. They lived in a trailer. They lived modestly. The wife made her little YouTube videos. The wife and daughter seemed like normal, happy people. He was the freaking wacko. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's so sad. So he says, it's getting to the point where just try to live and pay bills and live as a civilian, go to work. It just freaks me out. It's actually more comfortable for me to think about living out here, robbing banks, pharmacies, just taking what I want for as long as I can. Well, yeah, you're entitled to that, fucking dickhead. At least it will be exciting. I got so mad when I heard him say that. You're gonna murder your family, including the fucking dog, who was an elderly little dog. He was so cute. You're gonna kill your whole family because you want excitement? You fucking oh, what a douchebag. What a douchebag. So, yeah, later noting that he won't have to worry about his wife or daughter he killed weeks later. Deputies said the footage would be released Thursday because the investigation is completed. And lead detective Robin Cleary can prove Keller was the killer. Dozens of photographs shown provide more intricate details of Keller's bunker, and they were also shown by investigators. In one point on camera, Keller acknowledged he used to think himself that his actions were crazy. And then I'd think about it and it would make sense, he said, and it's okay, this is what I gotta do. Ugh. His sketches on notebook paper from 2003 show what the bunker became and included Keller's notes about how he wanted a laboratory space to study viruses. What? I didn't even hear that part in the Ewa video. The deranged 41-year-old had documented his work running PVC pipes to the bunker, diverting water from a stream, and a rope and pulley system was used to pull larger logs into place. His bunker even had an elaborate cement foundation and wood-burning stove. And he had windows, too. I think 2 of them. And it was multi-floors. One of the dozens of digital photographs detectives found in Keller's home, photos he meant to have burned in the arson, helped detectives identify where the bunker was located by showing power lines and the North Bend outlet mall. It was the quick 911 call from a neighbor that allowed firefighters to recover those telling images from an open safe inside the Keller home. Yeah, see, his big plan was to blow up the whole house, so all of his shit would be, burned and destroyed, but including the vlogs, he left them in the house. and thought that they would be burned up. But yeah, the firefighters got there fast enough to stop the explosion. Like, his wife and daughter weren't even burned. They were just laying in the bed, shot in the head. Like, what a sick pig, man. So yeah. On Thursday, family members of Lynette and Kayleen Keller thanked that neighbor, the people who called in tips about Peter Keller's red truck, and the deputies who kept more people from being killed. They also discussed a scholarship fund established in their relatives' memory. The scholarship, established at the Seattle Foundation, will be used to support students who want to attend Redmond's DigiPen Institute of Technology, as Kayleen had wanted. Some of the money for scholarship fund is expected to come from tens of thousands of dollars found in bundles in Peter Keller's bunker. Yeah, he withdrew the last of their money and took it with him. Fearing the end of the world, Peter Keller feared the end of the world was near. He was ready for it, having spent 8 years on the elaborate bunker he called Camp Keller and stocking it with weapons and explosives. Before returning to his mountain redoubt a final time for a standoff with SWAT officers, Keller killed his wife and daughter and then set their house ablaze. Investigators don't have a clear motive for why he took the lives of those closest to him, though case documents shed some light on his twisted life that ended after police surrounded him on April 27th. Only 2 weeks before the April 22nd murders and arson, Peter's 19-year-old daughter had revealed to her boyfriend that her father was building Camp Keller in preparation for the end of the world. While his immediate family has seen at least one picture, neither they or Keller's co-workers are believed to have known its exact location. I didn't even know that they knew about it. That's crazy to me. Yeah, I thought he did it all in secret, but apparently not. Investigation documents show Keller was controlling and cagey with money, to the point where his disabled wife would have to borrow money from family members. Her only consistent income, deputies say, was a state disability payment she got after a workplace accident several years ago. Okay, so she did have disability. Camp Keller was powered by a generator, had stacks of ammunition boxes in Ziploc bags, several high-powered rifles, and was camouflaged with ferns and sticks. But Keller, who also had a scope and body armor, didn't use his stockpile of high-powered rifles against deputies, thank God. The 41-year-old killed himself with a pistol inside the bunker and was found April 28th after a nearly day-long standoff. An autopsy showed he put the handgun in his mouth the previous night. About 8:45 a.m. on April 22nd, firefighters responded to Keller's home in the 47200 block of Southeast 159th Street in North Bend. That's Washington State. My watch is making, like reflective on the rug, and Willow's freaking out. Get it. Get the lights. You see the lights? I tried. There they go. See them? See them? Get them. Get them. That's funny. Yeah, so crews immediately suspected arson, finding 7 gas cans on the floor and the front door blocked with stereo equipment and furniture. Keller was suspected immediately after the arson, and investigators worked to get his phone records the same day his wife and daughter were found. Those phone records also helped narrow the search for Camp Keller. Peter Keller hadn't used his cell phone since 8:47 p.m. April 20th. That call registered on a cell tower near the 6800 block of Lake Alice Road Southeast, roughly 7 miles from Camp Keller. Keller's father, who hadn't spoken to his son since November 2011, didn't have any clues for investigators, and neither did Peter Keller's co-workers at Solar Systems in Preston. His daughter's boyfriend also told them he couldn't think of a motive for the killings. Peter Keller's wife, Lynette, stayed home often and was an avid scrapbooker who posted scrapbooking videos online. A California native and 1989 graduate of Aloha High School in Oregon, she sold her crafts at fairs and online. Because Peter Keller was controlling with household finances and multiple bank accounts, his wife would sometimes ask her father or stepfather to pay for various expenses, according to investigation documents. Keller had previously told family members that Peter had established a fairly sizable cash savings that she believed that when he retired they were likely going to be millionaires, sheriff's documents show. No, he only had like $6,000. It's believed that Lynette Keller and her daughter had seen a photo of Camp Keller, but weren't told where to find it, and it's not clear when exactly they saw the image. Deputies were told Peter Keller was a loner who would often leave from Camp Keller at about 10 a.m. on weekends and return home about 4 p.m. Shortly after 1 p.m. on the day of the arson, a King County Superior Court judge approved of a search warrant by telephone, and detectives searched the house about the same time a medical examiner initially checked his dead family members. Spent's shell casing was found in Lynette's hair. Wow, he was that close. Her daughter, Kayleen, last talked to her boyfriend April 21st, and everything seemed fine, according to investigators. Cell records show Lynette Keller last used her phone at or near her home at about 9 p.m. April 21st, hours before she and Kayleen were killed there. Smoldering combustibles reignited after the initial blaze, and crews from Eastside Fire and Rescue responded to the North Bend home a second time before detectives searched to douse the interior of the home. Still, investigators were able to pull several electronics that helped in the search for Keller. Detectives seized a Hewlett-Packard laptop, a Seagate laptop hard drive, and a desktop computer tower, a USB-powered Western Digital external hard drive, a Sprint cell phone belonging to Keller's daughter, 21 media discs, and an Xbox 360. Investigators also saw ammunition and gun cases, but no guns. Kayleen Keller, a Mount Si High School graduate who was attending Bellevue Community College, had been dating her boyfriend for about a year. He told police he spent several days a week at the Keller home, but didn't talk much with her father. However, Peter Keller had shown the boyfriend his gun collection that included several pistols and large caliber rifles, including an AR-15, according to investigation documents. The search for Camp Keller. Detectives completed their search of the Keller home the day after the arson, but returned April 24th after reviewing a plot map and determining the property had an odd hourglass-shaped perimeter, including an outbuilding and tarp-covered wooden structures not initially searched. Deputies reviewed Peter Keller's cell phone records and cell phone tower information for the past 3 months, trying to determine his general whereabouts and the location of Camp Keller. His bunker was found tucked into Rattlesnake Ridge, with more than a dozen guns, propane tanks, gas cans, binoculars, and stacks of ammunition. Photos from Keller's computers helped pinpoint the location, along with hikers who remembered seeing his red 1994 Toyota pickup at the Rattlesnake Ridge trailhead. So yeah, this guy, he thought he was being so, slick and covert. Yeah, he was going up there, every single weekend, and always parking his car in the same place. So people had seen him, a bunch of times. So, they at least knew where to start out looking for him, I'm completely addicted to Diet Dr. Pepper. Y'all, it is the best soda in the whole freaking world, and I love it. I just had to put that out there. I should do a commercial. It used to be just regular Dr. Pepper, but, I'm getting a little on the plump side, and everybody says that cutting out soda will seriously help, and this sunlight is making me crazy. Sorry. There, that should do better. It's just a crack in my curtains. It's making me nuts. Okay. So, yeah, and also, as he was, doing his vlogs and talking to his video camera, I'm thinking the whole time, is this dude bringing his phone every time he goes up there? Because all they gotta do is look at the location of the phone. He thought he was so smart, but he was really pretty dumb. I mean, maybe he was leaving the phone in the car, but even still, you're dumb enough to park your car in the same spot every day for the years, or rather every week for the years that you're taking to build this thing. Because, he says a couple of times, nobody knows where this is, and I don't think anybody's, stumbled, I don't think anybody's come this far up. And he was, off of a trail a certain amount of distance and whatnot, but he was not that smart, and he really wasn't that far from civilization. I will show you guys a photo. There's a shopping center and the mountain is right there, and he's really not that far up the mountain. It's kind of stupid. And his whole wood burning stove of the chimney, yeah, smart idea, but the smoke led the cops right to him. What a dumbass. Anyway. And this is only like April. It couldn't have been that fucking cold. Like, what a dumbass. So, yeah. During the search, 2 deputies disguised themselves as locals on a Rattlesnake Ridge day trip and searched for clues while trying to avoid Keller's scope. They noticed off-trail prints that appeared to come from military-style boots and smelled smoke from what turned out to be the Camp Keller wood stove. Dumbass, dumbass, dumbass. So yeah, SWAT members moved into position and watched lights going on and off in the bunker on Friday night. But tear gas didn't force him out, either because it wasn't ledged deep enough or Keller was prepared with a gas mask. He'd been charged with killing his wife and daughter and burning the North Bend house, but before the killings, Keller withdrew $6,200 from a bank account and told one of his co-workers that he might not return. At 7:34 a.m., April 27th, Sergeant Cindy West sent a note to Seattle area reporters asking that the location of the search for Keller just south of Interstate 90 off exit 27 not to be reported for fears that Keller had a radio or scanner, which he probably did. The information was held for 8 hours, and Saturday night West thanked those same media outlets for not jeopardizing SWAT members. After detectives cleared Camp Keller, it was turned over to King County Parks. A family memorial service was held for Lynette and Kayleen on May 5th. Speaking Thursday at a media briefing, Lynette Keller's twin sister said people who want to make a tax-deductible contribution to the Kayleen Keller Memorial Scholarship could do so at, kayleensfund.com. So yeah, that's the article. And tell me that's not the most fucked up story. I mean, it's not the most fucked up story, but it's out there. Like, I can't believe the dude was that prepared to, like, destroy his family. And to think he really thought that he was going to be able to just hide out there on the side of a mountain for such a long time. And it really wasn't that far out of society. Like, really not at all. And actually, here, let me show you guys the clip of the SWAT team getting close to him and how you can see the smoke. I'll be right back.
Window, break it out, throw a gas in there.
Brian, there looks like a slot or a window that's propped open in the back, directly towards the dirt wall, but I couldn't see it. He's got something over it. Maybe you guys can throw a log through it or something.
But if we throw number 2 in that ditch, it should cycle right up into the tarp, should push it right into the structure.
That's exactly what they decide to do. The response team keeps the bunker surrounded in the hopes that the gas canister will drive those inside out of the bunker and straight to the waiting forces. But after about 10 minutes, nothing has changed.
Yeah, it's dissipating finally. The first one you sent in is dissipating. You want me to throw a 98 under the window, the open window where we first gassed?
Yeah, if you can do it from your position.
With the gas canisters having no effect, the team is forced to reconsider their tactics.
So for planning purposes, if this gas isn't going to work, we may have the command post try and locate like a wildlands fire pump and hose that can pump a large volume of water into this place, Greg.
Okay.
I think we could probably utilize this creek. We just need enough hose and a pumping station to get it, up to where we want it.
We've got new photos showing this bunker may have multiple levels.
Good copy.
This information actually came from Peter directly and the self-recorded videos that they found in his burned-out house.
Well, this is the end of the day. I'm getting wrapped up, getting ready to leave. I don't know if you can see me, but kind of one last look at everything. That's my fireplace, wood stove, whatever. Pretty dark. Now we're going upstairs. This is where most of my supplies are. Pretty well stocked up. It's my window. Looking down on the wood stove. And that pretty much wraps it up for the day.
Finally, police resorted to throwing a grenade towards the bunker. When even an actual explosion failed to get results, police knew that they would have to be the ones to approach. After a full day of besieging the bunker, they decided to break through the roof. You might be wondering why a house fire investigation demanded such an extensive response. As a matter of fact, it didn't. After assessing the situation, investigators concluded that they were dealing with arson, but that would all change when they made their way into the home and stumbled upon a disturbing discovery. It wasn't a subtle attempt either. The remains of a red gas can were found melted onto the stove, where it had been placed in a skillet to heat up until it ignited. Police found several other gas cans throughout the residence, boxes of ammunition, and a homemade explosive device. Investigators could only assume it was meant to be triggered by the fire in order to destroy the house and everything inside. Had the fire team arrived just a few moments later, it could have gone off while they were on the roof, potentially costing them their lives. Police believed that this evidence was meant to be destroyed in the fire, along with the video diaries, but those items were hardly the most shocking thing they discovered. There were 2 bodies in the bedroom of the Keller home, untouched by the fire. Tragically, the bodies were identified to be those of Lynette and Kayleen Keller. They had both been shot in the head.
Nice.
Yeah, so you see what I mean about how close he was to the shopping center and how stupid he was to be using that stove and sending, like, here's some smoke signals, guys. Here's where I'm hiding. Oh, sorry, baby. Here's where I'm hiding. Such a fucking dumbass. And the video on Ewu said that after everything was found out and they, he killed himself and whatnot, they turned the bunker over to I think the sheriff's department turned it over to the parks department or something, and they just destroyed the whole thing. Like, like all that hard work, all the years of all the shit that he, what a dumbass. And like literally he only was out there for 6 days before they found him. And yeah, they threw the smoke bomb in there, that didn't work. They threw a grenade in there, that didn't work. Flashbangs, that didn't work. And then they're standing out there calling him, telling him to come out. And they hear pop. Dumbass shot himself in the fucking head. Guys like that, they just make no sense to me. Like, and it is so sad because there's so many of them that do that. Like, so many of these men that prefer or decide to murder their families instead of just getting a divorce like a normal human being. Like, there are so many of them. Chris Watts, Chris Coleman, fucking, what's his name? Chad Dorman or whatever, who shot his 3 little boys. Like, I mean, there's more. Those are just the 3 that come to the top of my head. And then you got the like, doomsday weirdos, like, Lori and Chad, who, oh my god. Like, I've also been hearing now, because, Lori's been convicted already, but Chad hasn't gone on trial yet, and I hear that he's going to try and throw her under the bus, trying to say, like, oh, I just did what my wife wanted. Like, yeah, my wife asked me to kill her kids, so I was like, sure. Like, ugh. I don't know. But yeah, so that's the story, and like I said, just wanted to do something that I hadn't actually heard of on 100 other channels. And yeah, I just, again, Explore With Us YouTube channel, I'm going to use some of their clips in here. I just want to make sure I give them credit, Cause yeah, great video, you guys, and you'll know, like you've probably already noticed in the clips that like their shits, like it says "Explore with Us" all over, and it has the big wolf face, you know, kind of in the background of the video, or like I don't know what they call that, like well, you know, so you can clearly see it's theirs, and I'm not trying to like steal their copyrighted work or anything. I'm just trying to, you know, use it for educational purposes under, you know, fair use. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, I'm gonna try and come back. I can't definitely say tonight, but in the next few days, because there is something else that I came across, and I was gonna do it on Thanksgiving, but I like ran out of steam because I had done all that cooking and everything. I was just too exhausted. But there's something that I've come across lately that's been like, oh my god, and it goes along with a case that's like super super old, and it makes me actually question whether this person was guilty or not. Like I really think that they are, but like it's just something that's nagging at me, so I want to see what you guys think about it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys in the next video. Thank you so much. Once again, my, you know, PayPal and all that shit is on the bottom of the screen, and I'll put it in the description box as well. And also, I'm going to include a link to the Explore With Us video, so that if you guys want to see their, like, the full Peter Keller vlogs, I would suggest their video, because it was very good. And that's about it. Love you guys. See you in the next one. Bye.